Located in Key West famous Mallory Square, the Key West Aquarium is one of the island's most popular attractions for people of all ages, home to alligators, jellyfish, sharks, and many other marine animals. Guests can enjoy interactive conservation talks as well as animal feedings. The aquarium's touch tank features a variety of beautiful creatures, including conches, sea stars, sea urchins, giant hermit crabs, and horseshoe crabs.
Guests also have the unique opportunity to meet live sharks and stingrays for an unforgettable day in Key West. Stop by the Key West Aquarium when you visit this place and get up close and personal with some of the most fascinating creatures in the Florida Keys.
Welcome to the Key West Aquarium. Whoa, look at that shell. A horseshoe crab. This is amazing. Exhibit. Big fish, wow. That's a catfish. Mangroves are important because they help soil erosion and protect against storms in Florida's coastlines. That's the mangroves, red mangroves, because the species have the roots extend for the water like that. It's pretty neat. That's a thing is enormous. So it's a boa constrictor. It constricts around the prey or suffocates it to death and then eats it whole, swallows it whole.
Just a few minutes, we're going to get started with our last presentation, our interactive Atlantic Shores feeding. So if you have not already, come on out to the side porch of the main gallery on the right-hand side. There's a tunnel leading out to the Atlantic Shores exhibit. So if you'd like to help me feed our tarpon, our barracuda, our grouper, we're going to begin that presentation in just a few seconds.
So starfish is actually not the correct name. It's actually sea star because sea stars aren't fish. They're sea stars. Pretty neat. Wow, another sea star is there. Please do not just glass. Makes sense. Being here. My first time ever visiting Key West. Hey, this is an alligator. I have a feeling that we have these guys here. Their scientific name is alligator Mississippi-ness. Another one. I guess they put like some sand on the walls, so there's not too much. That's a barracuda. Wow. I guess it's a view of the gators out the sand. It is, you know, teeny babies are not adults either. They lose that yellow, blackish color and get all gray, you know, when they're grown up.
Try it again? Yeah, we're gonna do this one more time and then I'll get started with the yak about the fish. Yes, it's awesome. I know the target is so underway that we're gonna fish. Good job, good job. Nicely done. One more. That's one more because you're so cute. I promise that wasn't the whole thing. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Christina, for those of you who have just joined us. We are on the side porch of the main gallery. That is a green heron. This is actually not my bird. This is a wild green heron that has figured out that about 3 times a day, somewhere, there's a bucket of food, and if he is just sneaky enough, he can snag something for free. But I'm going to have you ladies go ahead and hold on to that. Just put your hands over it. You don't actually have to touch it. Just kind of like, there you go. Get your own food. There we go. I'm going to ask you to not feed that bird. He is a wild bird, plus that beak is really, really long and pointy. I don't want that coming out your fingers. So that is a green heron. This is a natural, native wading bird. His neck actually extends very, very tall to give him a better point up and over the water to see some of the smaller fish that hang out in the shallows. But this exhibit actually, it's our Atlantic Shores exhibit. It actually used to be our parking lot. Now it is a 50,000 gallon saltwater aquarium with a living mangrove forest here. I want to quickly go through the mangroves. I want to quickly point out some of the cool animals around the pool before we get started. But first we're going to talk about the turtle because he's up and about. This is Hunter. Hunter is an adult male loggerhead. Anytime you see a sea turtle under human care in the United States, they are here for one of 2 reasons. Either something about the nature of their injuries or their history has made it improbable that they will survive out in the ocean, or they are under active rehabilitation for release. Hunter is under active rehabilitation for release. He physically looks fine, however, there are a couple of fishing hooks that are in his gut in just the right place where if the vet were to try and go after them, it has the potential to cause more damage. So the decision was made between his vet and also U.S. Fish and Wildlife, that's who makes the decision, to just leave them where they are and monitor them. So Hunter goes in for x-rays once every 6 months or so. We're trying to figure out, are those hooks stainless or are they non-stainless steel? If they're non-stainless steel, they'll just rust away, no problem, his body can pass them. And the goal is actually to get Hunter back into the ocean, to make lots and lots of loggerhead sea turtle babies. That's what we want to have happen. If they are stainless steel, they are never rusting away. They will be in his body forever. If that is the case, we're just going to have to cross that bridge when we get there. But for the time being, he is eating like a champ, he is sleeping like a champ, he is doing exactly as he should. So at this point, the Key West Aquarium and his vet are kind of waiting for a yay or nay from U.S. Fish and Wildlife, because that's who makes that decision. Speaking about eating like a champ, when it comes time to feeding the rest of the fish, I'm going to have you avoid feeding Hunter. He has his own strict diet from his vet. He has had 6 pounds of food today. So if he comes up to the surface and he looks at you with those big, beautiful sea turtle eyes, don't bite it. He's fine. He's good. That is Hunter. I did want to take, like I said, a spin around the pool. These mangrove trees, I know you didn't come to the aquarium to learn about trees, but this particular one is really important. This is a facultative halophyte, which is just fancy for a tree that can handle salt water. The way that they do that is they use this impressive root system to kind of lift themselves up and out of the salt water. It limits their exposure. But in doing that, it also kind of holds together the coastline, prevents it from washing away. It also acts as a really awesome nursery. So a lot of the fish in our ecosystem actually hatch out of their eggs in the mangrove forest. There's a lot of food, so they can get big and strong. Not a lot of space for predators. So they'll get through their first part of their life cycle before heading out onto the coral reef or into the open ocean. Now, speaking about predators, behind me here in the top right back perch, we have Moku. Moku is a red-shouldered hawk, so he's a predatory bird. He is here with us through permission of U.S. Fish and Wildlife as well. Moku is here with us because unfortunately he was in an accident. He was hit by a truck in the Middle Keys and he's lost one of his eyes. So that means he doesn't have depth perception anymore. If you are a predatory bird that needs to snatch your prey mid-flight, you can't tell how far away it is. You're probably not going to be able to catch your own food. So Moku is going to hang out with us for the rest of his life, however long that may be. It could be 20, 25 years. We're going to make sure he's happy, healthy, well-fed, and comfortable for absolutely the rest of it. So that is Moku behind us. In the far corner of the exhibit, we have 3 American alligators. They are juveniles. They're about a year old. They are about 2.5 feet long. The American alligator does the same thing that sharks do. They're the apex predator. They maintain the balance and order of the populations. And you can find them all around the southeastern United States. And in the deep south states, like Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, their numbers are actually fine. They're great. It's wonderful. Down here in South Florida, however, not so much. Their major habitat down here are the Florida Everglades, which is a big wetlands ecosystem. Now, they are losing acreage because metropolitan cities like Miami and Fort Lauderdale, every year they get bigger and they keep bumping up against that wild habitat. But also, they are being pushed out of the way and outcompeted for food by an invasive species called the Burmese python. Now, behind you beautiful people, off to my right, we have a Burmese python. His name is Mojo. He is 13 feet long. He weighs about 72 pounds at his last check-in. Get this, friends, only half grown. That is half the size that snake can be. And so you have a 26-foot snake running around the Everglades. They're going to eat everything that the alligator is supposed to eat. They are also going to eat the full-grown alligators. So a Burmese python kind of population explosion happened right after Hurricane Andrew in 1992, and now they're starting to really break down the ecosystem. So Mojo is here to help us teach everybody, if you want a pet, cool, have a pet. Just make sure you know exactly what it is you're getting yourself into, and you need to hang on to that animal for the entirety of its life. And if you can't, make sure that animal goes to someone who can. So those are the animals around the pool. Let's get started with the animals in the pool. Does anybody like to go fishing? Any anglers here? Yeah, awesome. So a lot of you will recognize some of these fish. If not, let us introduce you to them. So the first one that I want to introduce you to is a very common sport fish down here. This is a catch and release only fish. This fish, let me find one. This fish has, right here. Fish. So that is the tarpon. The tarpon get a nickname of King of the Flats because that's their major habitat. The flats are big, shallow bodies of water that that are actually pretty low in oxygen, and so you have this big animal that needs a lot of oxygen. So in order to compensate for that, what they do is they will gulp air straight from the surface. Let's see if we can see it again. That gulping of the air blows a whole bunch of oxygen over, there you go, right like that, and floods their body with oxygen, and they can keep on keeping on. but it's also one of the reasons why people love to try and catch one, because it takes forever for you to reel it into the boat because they never get tired. Now, if you want to keep a tarpon, you can, you just have to follow the rules. And the rules are, you can only catch one, you can only keep one, you have to have a special permit for it, it's called a tarpon tag, you can only keep one, and that one has to break a record of some sort. Good luck, because that record is set at 243 pounds. Now that is about 2.5 times the size of these guys right here. That record was set in 1973, right here in Key West. Now, so for those of you who like to go fishing, you will be impressed to know that that record was set on a 20-pound test line. For those of you who don't go fishing, that is a giant fish on an itty-bitty fishing line. Very, very little. Now, what's interesting is that record was set by a gentleman by the name of Gus Bell. You don't know who that is, but Gus Bell was on the boat with Bob West. Again, you don't know who that is either, but Bob West is actually a charter boat captain down here. He actually donated these 4 tarpon, these 4 individuals, we haven't switched them out on you, he donated them in 1963. So we've had these same 4 fish for over 55 years. They were grown when we got them. Scientists think these guys can live to be about 100. So beautiful, beautiful old fish. Yeah, there we go. Good job, friends. Now the next group of fish I want to introduce to you, these guys are super fast. These are our jack crevalles or crevalle jacks. These are the blue silverfish with the white fins. If you take a look at their tail, it almost looks like the letter C. That tail shape gets the animal up to speed and keeps them up to speed with very little effort. So imagine being able to get yourself into a full tilt sprint and then stay there without getting tired. That'd be really handy, huh? So as well as we can see in the water, these guys can see up out of the water too. So see how everybody's kind of milling around over here? Watch this. Let's see who gets there first. Good job, guys. Yeah, those are some pretty fast fish. Now, for as fast as they are, though, I have a couple of fish in here that are faster. We were hanging out with them earlier today. The glare is...
Green herring.
You are bold. So...
I'm going to name you Swiper. Get it, Swiper?
Where?
Give them a fish.
No, because if I give them one fish, if you give a wild bird a fish, they will ask for 1,500 more. There you go. Where was I? Yes. For as fast as they were, the jacks are pretty fast. The barracudas are actually a lot faster. Here you are. Good job, friend. So barracudas can swim in short bursts of up to 35 miles an hour underwater. That is incredibly fast. Good job, friend. There you go. Now, what's interesting is that barracudas have this really bad reputation for being gnarly and attracted to shiny things. Has anybody ever been told before you get in the water, take off anything shiny, take off all your jewelry, anything metallic, because it looks like a fish scale, barracudas are going to come at you? Yeah, that is a very common myth. What's actually happening is a barracuda is just naturally curious. They're a little territorial, and you are the weirdest looking fish they've ever seen. So regardless of what you're wearing, a barracuda is going to come look at you. So here's what should make you feel better, though. A barracuda typically will not pursue prey items that are longer than a third of their relative body size. So you are all just way too big for a barracuda. Even you, you're the shortest one here. You're too big. You're too big for a barracuda. Now, if a barracuda takes up space underneath your boat while you're busy snorkeling, you do not need to fret. All you need to do is just start moving towards that barracuda. The barracuda will really quickly realize that you are not scared of it. You are much bigger than it, and it'll get up and get out of your way, no problem. So that is the barracuda. We also have some smaller reef fish in here. We do have some grouper. The grouper are the big round fish that are, they look like they have checkerboards. Goodness. They look like they have checkerboards down their back. If you see one, point it out so that we can all see it. Let's see. Usually there's one that hangs out underneath. Wait, where? Yeah, down at the bottom. Very good. So grouper have very large mouths. They are gulper eaters. So all they have to do is wait for something to get close enough. All they have to do is open their mouth real quick, and whatever's in front of them will just get vacuumed in. Very, very cool. Also, we have some smaller reef fish in here. So this, right here, we have a blue angelfish that just tucked itself underneath the platform here. This purple fish with the red fins here, this is a red drum. Now the red drum, as well as we do have a Goliath grouper in here. It's a baby. It weighs about 45 to 50 pounds. It looks like it's wearing straight up hunting camo. Now the thing about the Goliath grouper and the red drum, they have really impressive muscles next to their air bladders. So when they squeeze them real hard next to their air bladder, it sounds like a big drum. And for Goliath grouper, it's a way for them to kind of call out their territory. For red drum, it's a way to attract the ladies. I'm pretty sure it only works for fish though. Gentlemen, please don't slap your belly at us. It probably won't work for getting a date. Or it might. Try it, see what happens. So those are the grouper. There's a purple fish with a yellow face. That is a Spanish hogfish. Good job. We also have the small little gray ones with the fat foreheads. Those are Bermuda chub. We have some pork fish in here. Those are the yellow flavets with the black bars down the side of their face. If you take a look up around the mangrove roots, the tiny, tiny, tiny little fish, those are called gambusia. We love those. Their nickname is called the mosquito fish because they eat mosquito larvae. We love those guys. We also have some rainbow parrotfish in here. We have 2 rainbow parrotfish. They are pink and green fish. It looks like they have turquoise lips.
Right there is that one.
If you see it, point it out so everybody else can.
Why?
Yeah, right there. Good job. So there are a whole bunch of species of parrotfish in our ecosystem here. This particular one is the rainbow. Here's what you have to know about parrotfish, okay? So their teeth, they do have teeth. They're just fused into a beak. That's why they get their name, parrotfish. Now their job on the reef is to swim up to the coral reef and they scrape the algae that overgrows the coral. What that does is it creates real estate for other coral to grow. It's healthy for the reef. But in doing that, oftentimes they'll get coral rock or calcium carbonate limestone. They'll get coral rock as a big bite. So now their face is full of rocks. What are they going to do? They're going to crunch through them. So crunch, 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 crunch. It goes through their digestive system. It gets broken down even further. And then out the other end comes a nice fine grain. Now that builds up over time into what we all call beach sand. So one 5-pound parrotfish can make over 2,000 pounds of beach sand every year. So if you do the math, a little over a third of the world's like sugar sandy tropical Instagrammable beaches are all parrotfish poop. So there you go. Now you know that. Happy vacation, everybody. Enjoy your next beach day. And the next time you're building a sand castle or you have your toes in the sand, say, or your face, say a little thank you to the parrotfish because that's who put that there for you. There you go. So now that you can't unknow that, here comes the fun part. On the menu today, we have red herring. We also have squid. We also have, actually it might be a red herring and squid day. That is exactly what it is. Red herring and squid. So if you're allergic to any of these things, please let me know. I'm going to pass this bucket to y'all. I would love for you to take a small handful. It is dead fish, just so you know. You can do it piece by piece like I've been doing, or go all at the same time. See what happens. And then please wash your hands. Next to Mojo, we have a hand washing station with soap, water, and a hand dryer. But that's it for us today. Hope you enjoyed. If you did not catch all of our presentations and you bought your ticket today, come back tomorrow. Our public presentations start tomorrow at 10 o'clock with our touch tank. But if you have any questions, my name is Christina. Carolyn is also here today. Answering questions is our favorite part of the job. Thank you so much, and we really hope you enjoy your vacation here in Key West. Thanks.
Time to feed the fish. Good. This is a red-shouldered hawk for the native. Unfortunately, it's missing an eye, so it's here.
Thank you.
Poor thing. Oh yeah.
What?
So it's a bird of prey. So in the wild, they will eat like snakes, rodents, and that type of stuff. Cool. The poor thing, this one. Let's go back in here. Yeehaw! That thing is huge. get scared they'll blow up and unleash those spikes, so predators don't want to eat it. This is an eel. It's a big one, wow. Seahorses, which are actually a type of fish. This is a Caribbean two-spot octopus. fish adoring Finding Nemo, Finding Dory movies. It's called a blue tang in real life though. One eye and one eye up. That one. To the yellowtails with black and blue. A story of blue tang. These are highly invasive fish. Here in Florida, it's the lionfish. So people remove them for them to stop being invasive. The lionfish. This is the species of fish in Finding Nemo and Finding Dory that is marlin and Nemo. It's actually a clownfish, not a Nemo fish as many people call it. The orange line right here is Nemo and marlin species. They have some stuff on their skin that actually makes them immune to the stings of their enemies. So that means other fish may get stung in enemies, not the clownfish, whereas many people mistake them as Nemo fish. Pretty hot.
They have to swim forward, forcing water over their gills, and that's how they breathe. If you look at these guys down here, they're not doing that, are they? These are our nurse sharks, and there are 7 of them. They also are juveniles. They can grow to be up to 14 feet long, and they are just lying still here sleeping. They're a very social animal. They like to sleep together on top of each other, beside each other. And they are a crepuscular animal. That means they sleep during the day. They're active at dawn and at dusk when their prey is active. They eat lobsters, shellfish, crustaceans, and that's what they mainly eat. Now they are not doing air ventilation in order to breathe. How are they breathing? Well, they are one of a few species of sharks in the world that have special muscles in their jaw. They're called buccal or buccal muscles, B-U-C-C-A-L. They use those muscles like a little pump, constantly drawing water over their gills so that they can breathe while they're lying still. And you can see their gill slits from the sides of their heads opening and shutting rhythmically as the water goes back out from their gills. So that's how they can breathe lying still. They also use those buccal muscles when they're eating. They use them like a vacuum. They quickly suck in their food with a lot of pressure, a lot of force. And that's how they eat. Actually, we have the same muscles in our jaws. Did you know that you are like nurse sharks? When we go like this, can I hear you do it? Yeah, we have a good choir. When you do that, you are using muscles just like these sharks have. We call them cheeks, but they're buccal muscles. So you are like sharks. That's pretty cool. Well, these sharks are very flat on the bottom, and that shows us that they are a benthic creature. They're a bottom dweller. This one is a pelagic creature. That means they swim high in the water, and it's more rounded and torpedo-shaped. They're swimming in the water. These hang around the bottom, and when they're just little pups, when they're born, they put long and they have little black spots that help them be camouflage. And they live among the mangrove roots. I want to call your attention to this wall up here. At the far end, it represents the shallow ocean waters around the mangrove roots. We move up to the sandbars and the seagrass beds, on into the coral reef, and then into the deep blue sea. The over 450 species of sharks. There are some for each set of Like any wild animal, they can bite themselves in minutes. Picture yourself sleeping on a couch, taking a wonderful nap, and you suddenly awaken to some strangers stroking your head. What would you want to do? You want to defend yourself. So that's what these guys do by turning around and giving a quick bite. Leave them alone, you will have no problem with them when they're shut. They're very common in our waters. It's not unusual to see them. But just give them their space, be respectful of them, and you will have no problem with them. Okay, I'm sure you've heard that sharks can smell blood in the water, and that they have a good sense of smell. Have you heard that one? That is true if you're a fish. Fish have very oily blood. Oil and water do not mix well. When a fish bleeds out into the water, it makes a slip in the water because of that oily blood. And sharks can smell that from a mile away. They do have a good sense of smell. I just put his nose up right now. These sharks do have a good sense of smell, and they have a good sense of hearing. You can't see their ears, they're internal, but they can hear well. And they have lateral lines, like any fish. A shark is a fish. It's a cartilaginous fish, and that's part of the no bones. Very flexible, like the nose and the ears that are made of cartilage. So they can detect through their lateral lines and their ears, their hearing, when there is an injured fish thrashing around in the water. They can find that fish, and they can smell fish blood. Our blood, on the other hand, is not oily. It is water-based. We are 75% water, and we bleed out into the ocean. That blood dissipates very quickly in the ocean water. So if you go to the beach and you want to swim and you have a cut or a bruise that's bleeding a little bit, you do not have to be paranoid that you're calling all the sharks and to eat you. That's not what's going to happen. Now, it might be a little different if you're bleeding pints and pints of blood and there are sharks around. But if you're bleeding pints and pints of blood, you have a different problem. Okay? So you don't have to be paranoid about the sharks. Let's pour some blood in here. See if we can get them interested. And we're going to splash a piece of fish in here. Are they turning into a feeding frenzy immediately? Not quite, huh? It takes a little bit until that registers, even though they can smell it. We're going to splash too. Okay, now they're awakening. I want you to listen as they eat. Okay, hear that noise? That's those buccal muscles at work. Like a vacuum, sucking that food in. Yeah. Okay, they're sucking that in. Now, I want to talk to you quickly about shark attacks, shark bites. Do you know that if you live to be 80 years old, your chances of being fatally attacked by an unprovoked shark are only 1 in over 3.5 million. That's not a very big chance of being attacked by a shark. Do you know that you are 75 times more likely to have lightning strike you? You're more likely to have a vending machine fall on you and you die. You're more likely to have a coconut hit you in the head, to marry a millionaire, to have a person in New York City like you. That's scary. And you are more likely to have an IRS audit. That's really scary. So your chances of being attacked, fatally attacked by a shark, are very slim. Now, sharks once in a while have bitten people.
We'll have more food here after it reaches the end of the line. I'll bring it back and start it again.
Oh, there it is, green sea turtle. Oh, sea turtle. Loggerhead sea turtle. Big. Amazing. Now let's see the gift shop. Magnet. A gift shop in Miami's Aquarium. That's a barracuda, wow, that's beautiful. Goodbye, Key West Aquarium.